Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. Got an interesting little show I'm going to put on today. As we're going to look at the past, we're going to look at the present, we're going to look at, well, actually not the present. We're going to look at the past, and we're going to look at why people are in the position that they're in today. But before I do that, let me make sure all you can hear me first and foremost. There we go. So as promised, I'm going to talk about, Rev and his net worth and how he got to where he is today, as opposed to that trash that they're talking about on Twitch, which is really irritating me, to be perfectly honest. Because I've been over there a few times. I watched it on Carrie's YouTube channel. By the way, go subscribe to Carrie's YouTube channel. This is how she looks. By the way, type in Carrie. If you can't find her channel by typing in Carrie, type in Carrie Shanny Needs Love, and then all of her videos will pop up. All right. But there's other people on here covering Shanny as well. And you can sub to those channels too. We're going to be taking a look at one of them in a minute. I found a really old video here on YouTube with Shanny, because what I want to do is I want to show everybody, and I want to prove with demonstrable and empirical evidence that Shanny is the reason why Shanny and Rev's pathetically poor decision making is the reason why they're in the position that they're in right now. Okay, Shanny and Rev are not in the position that they're in, and you're going to hear this coming out of my mouth, and it's probably good that it's coming out of my mouth about this. Shanny and Rev are not in the position that they're in because of the reaction channels. Yeah, I said it. Yep. They're not in the position that they're in because of the reaction channels. They are in the positions that they're in because, well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that, because if I say it now, then it won't make any sense later. But I promise you, if you just let me wait and explain where I'm coming from, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right. Vecco might come in here a little bit later, because he said that he might want to give us a few words of wisdom regarding Shanny, as the Christian community needs to start getting in on them, because they're both claiming to be followers of Jesus Christ. And that is balderdash. It is baloney. It is garbage. Neither one of them know Jesus Christ as their Savior, based on how they've been acting the last few years, their unrepentant nature, and the fact that they're conning people out of their money over there on Twitch. We're going to get into all of that today in this particular video. Let me say hello to everybody in the live chat first before I do. We got Chi Lover, Twisted Skeptic, Sarah Tonin is watching, Baby Jane, City of the Silent, Sabella, Chipper, Taz, Num1, you got Kaki, you got Little Miss Smitty, you got BigZebra.com, who's always a delight. You got Baba Yaga, the boogeyman, I guess. We got let me see, Barbie Ogan. I think I said that already. Then we got Gucci Gang Gamer Girl. Okay. We got Tommy Larson. Well, this is we're actually gonna be looking at this guy's YouTube channel today. Actually, he actually got some goodies on here. His name is Sydney Winston Reason Speak. When I show you what I'm gonna show you, so now mind you, there's a bit of a conflict of interest here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my opinions aside, because he kind of goes to the whole atheism Christianity thing. We're gonna ignore that today, and we're just gonna focus specifically on Shanny and Rev. So if you're an atheist, don't worry. But his channel is one of the channels we're going to be looking at today. He has an oldie on here. As a matter of fact, he got a couple of good oldies on here that was really difficult to find on here until I found this channel. We got Lowe's Cow Productions, Joey Hanna, Mir Bear, Sabella. Okay, I already said Sabella. Misty Day, and Joey Hanna. Okay, so yeah, if you get a chance, subscribe to Sydney Winston Reason Speak. Yes, Sydney. I promote atheist YouTube channels. I tell people to go over there and subscribe to them. All right. I don't hate atheists, but when we talk about your atheism, that's a whole nother story, my friend. But that is a topic for another day. So what I want to do is I want to show everybody Rev, Jason Egroff, or I can kind of say his whole name, considering what are you going to hear him say himself. With Jason William Egroff, since he likes to say people's names on here all the time, what he was like before he got involved with Shanny. How you doing, Mr. Prime? I'm not going to say the whole thing, though. Even though I don't think I would get in trouble for saying it. But How you doing, Mr. Prime? Mr. Pluto Dog. A girl has no name. Third time's a charm. And Floxy. How y'all doing? So anyway, I want to show everybody Shanny. I'm sorry, not Shanny. We'll do Shanny second. I want to show everybody Rev before he got involved with Shanny. I am not defending Rev. I am going to rip him a new butthole like I always do. I'm going to rip Shanny a new butthole like I always do. But I just want you to see these people before they got together with each other. Before they let the pride swell in. You know what I mean? Sabella might find some of these interesting since we both known these two for quite a bit. So, first video, we're going to take a look at a very different Jason. Very different Jason. Totally different Jason. And the video courtesy and the video credit will go to Mr. Sidney. Mr. Sidney Winston's Reason Speak has a video on here with, actually, is it him? Or is it somebody else? No, it's not Sidney. Who has that video? This is going to be important for what I'm going to say about Jason later. Okay, yeah. It's on Sidney Winston's Reason Speaks channel. Now, I can't see the live chat, guys, so this is what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Please do not give any super chats to this YouTube channel. I'm going to say this again. Please do not give any super chats to this YouTube channel. If you want to donate, I will put the Cash App on here later after we go through these videos. But I'm asking, please don't super chat. I will try to pay attention to the chat for free. Don't worry about it. Because the reason why, because it takes me out of my concentration and it's hard for me to have a flow when I'm looking to do this. As a matter of fact, whatever you was going to give me, give to who's on here streaming. Give it to Carrie or give it to like Burnt Toast or somebody like that. Give it to one of them. But if you want to give me something, you can do it on Cash App. You can do it later because right now is not a good time, and I really need to get through all of this stuff that I want to get through. All right. So again, credit is going to go to this. It's going to go to Mr. Winston here, who happens to be an atheist, who's going to say atheist things. If you're a Christian, just ignore the atheist stuff and pay attention to what is going on with Rev. This is a totally different Rev before he got with Shanny. Okay. So let's take a look at this here real quick. I'm going to screen share. I'll show everybody what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm going to be muted so that you can all take a look at what I'm talking about. Wait a minute. Why? StreamYard made some changes here in how they're going about doing some things. Let me try to screen share this again. Share. Okay, here we go. So this is the one we're going to share. I'm going to share the audio. And you should all be able to see this. But just to make sure that you can all hear this, I'm going to
Hey guys, God bless you. In the name of the Most High God, Jason William Egroff here for RevelationNews.net. You know, none of us are worthy to speak for the Messiah. None of us. But as you can see from what is in front of you, I am chief among sinners.
All right, so this is Jason Egroff, round about the 2017 mark, somewhere around there. This is his mother had died. He's sitting on close to $1 million, probably $750,000, and he's sitting in the house that his mother left him. And he has very little worries other than where he's going to get his alcohol from, which is not a problem because he's got lots of money, he's got lots of alcohol. And the only time that Jason William Egroff comes online, or used to come online when he was at Revelation News, is when he was absolutely pissed to the gills. So today is the 11th of December, 2022. What you're looking at is a snapshot back from 2017. I'll make that clear in a minute. Let's carry on.
chief among them. And I repent daily. Daily, I repent. But you know, guys, I've learned something. That yes, we're all worthy to speak for him if we're coming from the heart and speaking from the heart. The salvation that he gave us. But I'll tell you this, he is seeking holiness. He is. And I've learned that I am not whole.
He is seeking holiness. He is. I mean, that's your word against science. All of science, all of the last 200 years of science, Jason William Egroff. You used to talk such shit in those days, and as we'll see, it hasn't gotten any better.
Holy. I am not holy. I'm trying my best to. I'm doing everything I can to be as holy as I can be, but I am not holy. So I can't speak for the Messiah. I can't.
So one of the first things that I want to point out regarding Jason was when he was doing his whole Revelation News thingy back when he had his 16,000 subscribers and was doing just fine with building his own platform, he was a lot more humble. He was claiming to be a Christian, and at least he was attempting to behave like one. Now, you could tell, for those of you out there who actually study your Bibles and know it well, that that he really wasn't that well versed at understanding the scripture very well. But that's not a knock on him. The thing that I want to take away from this is that he was an alcoholic during this time. He was humble during this time. The man had his own radio show. Now, when I remember when I first heard some of the reaction people talk about this, and some of them said that they didn't believe that he had his own radio show. Well, the reality is that he did, and I'm going to show everybody this radio show that he had. It was on Blog Talk Radio. I believe I first heard about it. Let me see. On Irate Alex YouTube channel, he did a documentary style video on Shanny and Rev, and this is when I didn't like Irate, and I still don't like the guy. But I understand now why he went after Shanny and Rev, though, to be perfectly honest. But he had a blog talk. The man had sense. The man could think. The man could form a sentence on his own. He had balls. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. He was a YouTube truther on here. Let me see something here. Here we go, right here. Let me show everybody what I'm talking about. If you click any of this, if you type in Jason William Egroff on a radio show or whatever, right? If you click on that, this is what's going to pop up, right? If you click on any of this, it'll show you all of the old Blog Talk Radio episodes that this man had. You can see all of the old Blog Talk Radio shows that this man had. You can look at them right here. Now, you might not agree with what he was talking about, but a lot of this stuff was truther stuff, and he got into the Bible a little bit. And again, the man had a purpose. The man wasn't getting on here acting the way we're going to show you how he was acting a little bit later. And the man was sitting on almost $1 million. Some people says it's $750,000. Since I was actually there, and since I actually have a pretty good idea of what he had, and a lot of you are just finding out a lot of this, there's some stuff right now that you guys don't know about that I think some of you are finding out about. But you got to remember, he had that $700,000 that he had in stocks, in the stock market, the house that I have, and the house that his uncle has. If you take the three of them, the man was sitting on $1 million. But let's just take away the $1 million and talk about the $700,000 that he had. Yes, he was an alcoholic. Yes, he had a temper problem. But that man was humble. He could take some correction. He was not involved in the great debate days. Okay? And this guy just lost his mother. Okay? And it really messed him up. He already had issues, but losing his mother just increased the issues that he had. His mother and his father bust their rear ends for them to make enough money for him to be able to inherit that money so that he would never have to worry about those things. I'm putting a lot of stress and emphasis on this because when we see how this bumbling buffoon acts in the future, when he gets involved with the next person that we're going to be talking about, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. So the man had a successful YouTube channel. 16,000 subscribers is good. You know what I mean? When you're talking about Alex Jones and all them other people and whatnot, right? He had the radio show, and the man didn't have to worry about getting on here, and this is important, begging for food, begging for money. He didn't have to come on here and come on here and make a fool out of himself. He wasn't doing porn. He wasn't doing all of that stuff. The man was doing okay. He was doing fine. He was doing better than a lot of us, right? Then one day he met this person here. Now let's take a look at a video of Shanny before she got involved with Jason William Egroff. Yes, we got to go back to the same YouTube channel, Mr. Winston's channel. By the way, subscribe to his YouTube platform. And by the way, Mr. Winston, you have permission to put this on your YouTube channel if you want, just to show you that how can I put this? That I know how to have these conversations without debating. I believe that there's a time for both, and right now is not a time for debating because this is important. People need to know this, that this woman ruined this guy's life. In case you don't know this, I personally believe that Shanny ruined this man's life, and the only way his life is going to get better, and I hate to admit this, if the reaction people break them up somehow. That's the only way it's going to happen. Because he don't got the strength, the balls, or anything to come out of that relationship. He's too afraid of her. But we'll get to that because we're kind of jumping ahead too much. Let's take a look at Shanny, courtesy of Mr. Winston's channel. Now, unfortunately, I'm a topic of discussion on here, and so is Jason, and so is Brett Keene. But we're not going to look at all of that. We're going to look at Shanny on here, and we're going to take a look at what she was like when she was with Chafee the Odd, aka Chris. All right, so let's take a look at that real quick. Let me make sure I got this one ready. Which video is this? It's the reaction one, right? Okay. Because StreamYard changed the way you do screen shares on here. Let me see something here. It's the reaction one, right? Here we go. All right. So I'm going to play this video, and again, credit goes to Mr. Winston's YouTube channel, Sydney Winston's Reason Speak. He's an atheist. He's an outspoken atheist. If you're into that kind of thing, go to his YouTube channel and subscribe. The only reason I'm going to sub to this guy is because I plan on debating him one day in my debate coliseum one day. But aside from that, let's watch Shanny. And believe it or not, she was actually a little bit thinner than what she is. Check this out. Let me just take you straight to it, so you guys don't got to listen to this commentary. Because here we go, right here.
The first one,
that's Mr. Winston, by the way,
is this one here.
Here we go. That's Shanny wearing a leather coat.
Shanny looks.
And look at what she has on her eyes. I want you all to pay attention to that.
Hi guys, I'm in my car and I'm freaking vlogging.
If Carrie, if you're watching this and the rest of you are watching this, get Shanny to watch this part right here because I want to say something about this.
Well, I'm vlogging the whole day, so I figured why not test my monkey while I'm driving home. We just got the new smokehouse pizza, and
she's not waiting for Jason, by the way.
Still very excited.
Later tonight. Hopefully tonight. I don't want to run it now.
Well, we got to do the Little Caesars pizza.
Right, so you noticed that she said we can do a little mukbang, right? Right? She said we're going to do a little mukbang. Now, this has got to be 6 years old, this clip. And they're already mukbanging. Mukbanging. You hear me? Mukbanging. Don't even know what that's all about, but she said it.
So we're going to go home. And then after, I'm going to take my mukbang. We're live right now. So.
Hey everybody, Chef the Odd here.
Let's fuck me and
I
my
got me an awesome
husband.
screenshot of
Chef
it.
the Odd with Chris. My hair's a mess.
Okay.
Tried to my hair all pretty, but
Your hair is gorgeous, babies. It's gorgeous.
Oh, and by the way, these two were legitimately married. They actually had rings. They had to go to court to get divorced. Shanny and Revelation News, or Shanny and Jason are not married. They're a boyfriend and girlfriend pretending to be married, conning people out of their money by doing it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chris.
I gotta find the rest of these old videos.
This is Shanny's husband, of your legitimate husband, too. So, you know, at this point in their lives, Shanny is bulbous, yet smiling. And Chris is smiling. Looks like they're happy together, whatever the weather. Okay, I promise you I won't give up my day job for singing. Okay, you have my word for it. They need to carry on, don't they? Off you go, both of
Today
you.
we pre-ordered Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh gosh. Yes, I can't wait to play that game.
I'm spending a little extra to get the more the upgraded version. I mean, it's cosmetic stuff. It's or gun skins and stuff like that.
Something interesting to note about Shanny, you didn't really know that much about her personal life either back then, because I don't think Chris would have allowed her to dispel out all the beans of every little tiny detail that was going on in her life. So she was under control. She had to be under control when she was with him, because he was a little bit closer to an alpha than her current beta male that she's with right now. Although I would not call Chris an alpha. I probably would call Chris something in between an alpha and a beta.
Yeah, you know, I really like the Mass Effects. I've played all of them.
Yeah.
Beat all of them.
I played them. I haven't beat them.
Shouldn't be any of them.
No, I probably should.
Mass Effect's legendary. If you not play Mass Effect, you should play Mass Effect.
You can have sex in the game.
With aliens, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking blue humanoid looking aliens.
It looks pretty hot. I'm just saying. That'll turn me on. The last Mass Effect turned me on for some weird reason.
Fallout 4.
You know,
Video games are
I believe she gave me this car. A lot of you don't know this, but when I went to the house the first time, there was a green Jeep that was in the driveway. I'm wondering if this is the same car, although that car was absolutely filthy. I can't even begin to talk about all of the saliva and all of the nastiness that was in that car. We'll have to talk about that one day. And if I can find my pictures, maybe I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But that car was a mess. But she gave me that car. I ended up getting a whopping $50 for it, and then I gave it to her. $50 for that Jeep that they had. That's what that car was worth to the scrapyard.
turning you on, Shanny, for some weird reason. Well, I bet that doesn't come
anyway,
close to
those glasses that Shanny has on right there, those American flag glasses. I actually own those glasses now. I thought these glasses belonged to Jason, but apparently these glasses belong to Shanny. So Shanny, if you're watching this, Shanny, I actually have your glasses. Absolutely hilarious. I'm actually gonna start wearing them live sometime.
Jesus meeting you in the shower as far as turning you on. Hey, Shanny. So this is turning into a nice little family jaunt. You know, the two of them going for a drive. It looks pretty normal.
Pretty boring. Like
People get lucky. You don't see anything. Well, I thought it was a neat little feature, though.
Yeah.
That was really cool. It's like, oh, well, at least you say, because like usually when you sleep with your companion, whatever, on the bed by you, they don't even lay down with you.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to show everybody this. I can only take so many boring videos from this woman. But anyway, I wanted to show everybody this because I wanted people to see what Shanny was like before she got with Jason. She was married to Chris. According to Shanny, Chris cheated on her with her best friend, and that caused them to have a divorce. But before they got divorced, and make no mistake about this, and Jason can lie all he wants, and Shanny can lie all he wants. You can watch Drag Channel and see that, and then I'm telling you the truth about this. You can watch Shabby for Christ. You can watch Fundy Archive. There's a ton of archive videos channels out there that I did not watch when I was fighting the reaction channels, where you will see proof that Shanny had phone sex with Jason before she was divorced. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. I believe that they did that before Chris cheated on Shanny. Okay? Shanny also makes the claim, now listen to me carefully here. Shanny also makes the claim that the reason why she became a Christian is because she listened to Jason. And Jason got her to stop being an atheist, because for those of you who don't know, Shanny has two claims. Number one, she used to be an atheist, and she used to be a Satanist. I remember when she came into one of my rooms one day, she came into my room and said that, you know, she used to be a Satanist. Somebody was in my room from the Church of Satan or whatever, and she told me what they was doing in the room, and she wanted me to kick them out because it was apparently casting a spell in my room or whatever. But she did publicly make the claim that she was a Satanist and that she was an atheist. As a matter of fact, she called herself the Amazing Ex-Atheist. Again, you can check out with Brett Keanes, Bella. You could talk to Bruce Shepard. You could talk to Holy Spackle and a whole bunch of other people who know this about her. Okay? She claims that she watched one of Rev's shows and she became a Christian. That is her claim. Okay? There is no way on God's green earth that is true. If you go listen to some of the things that Jason was talking about on Blog Talk and listen to some of the things that this man was talking about on YouTube and compare and contrast that to the stuff that comes out of Shanny's mouth, there is no way that's true. I now believe, based on watching these videos, that Shanny made that up in order to try to get with Jason. She made that up. That woman don't hold to any of the views that Jason has, especially when it comes to the political side. I don't need to go into that because I think most of you that are watching watch Carrie and them enough to know that she's extremely inconsistent with her stories about her political side and what she stands with and everything and whatnot. But I want everybody to see that. So for those of you who don't know, and I'm going by my side, I'm not going by these reaction people. I'm going by my side so that people can get a fresh perspective. When apparently all of this stuff started happening, I think this is when Fundy Archive started really taking up a lot of her videos. She was looking for another man, and I was on the list. She was trying to get with me, and she was trying to get with Jason. I don't know if there was anybody else on the list, to be perfectly honest. Not that I can think of, but I remember specifically calling her on the phone, I think on her birthday, and I spoke to her mother, and I spoke to Shanny, and I told Shanny outright that to even have a conversation with me, she has to get out of her mother's house. Now, if you go watch her mother's video that she made, she confirms this in that video. I don't know how she fully tells the story, but she tells it enough where you understand that I put my foot down on some things early on or whatever, right? Shanny would later say that she was using me as a way to try to get Jason, okay? And I read the comments on that on the Fundy Archive or whatever, and a lot of people was calling baloney on that too. But she ultimately got Jason. And what a lot of you don't know is Shanny sent me a private video. Unfortunately, I tried looking for it before this show, but I couldn't find it. But I think there's a strong possibility either Sabella or Dreitnut has it. There's a strong possibility of this. The reason why, because Sabella was downloading all my stuff back then, and Dreitnut was talking about every little tiny thing that came out of my mouth. But Shanny had made a video with Jason being drunk and threatening her while they was going back and forth because he wanted to drink and Shanny wouldn't give him a drink. Mind you, they were still living in Scranton at the time. And she sent me a private video via Google Hangouts back in the day as proof in case something happened to her. A few months after that, y'all already know G-Man have an offer for you. They offered me the house. I moved in there, yada, yada, yada. But the point of the matter is that Jason didn't change a whole lot. All you did was see him threaten Ms. Star. You know what I mean? Which was the first time I ever seen him threaten anybody. But it was understandable at the time because he was trying to defend his woman. Okay, whatever. But the real changes didn't come until they got to Colorado. Okay, now if you never heard this story come directly out of my mouth, this is what happened. When they gave the house to me the first time, and I went over there, the ACs was on and everything and whatnot. They didn't even take their identification with them. It's almost like they made a random decision to go, left everything on, and then just left. And there was papers on the door, which I've shown in Dragnut's private show, where what was it? Where I showed how they was going to condemn the house. Looking back at it, I shouldn't have said nothing. The way I was treated the first time I moved in there, I shouldn't have said nothing. Shanny and Rev have repeatedly called that house a piece of garbage. Mind you, this man is a millionaire almost, right? He's got $700,000 in the stocks, and he owns two houses. Well, he owned one house, but he gave one of the houses to his uncle. Now they're in Boulder, Colorado, right? And when they're in Colorado, this is the Rev that all of you guys got to see. I want to show you guys something here real quick. This is not a humble Rev. This ain't a loving Rev. It ain't none of those things. This guy, oh, okay, hold on. Let me just think about what I want to say here a minute. Because I'm going to mess around and cuss. This woolly mammoth, this chia pet, this Godzilla King Kong wildebeest, completely and utterly destroyed what little manhood this man had. Absolutely destroyed him. I don't want to hear nothing about a wet brain. This woman cut his balls off and made him eat it. He ceased from being a man. And I'm going to say this, jumping ahead a little bit. The reason why that man is sitting there talking about, I love my baby and everything and whatnot, he don't love her. She's filling a psychological role of his dead mother. We'll get to that one a little bit later. But I want everybody to take a look at this video here. And I want you to take a look at what happens when you get involved with Sasquatch. I want you to take a look at this and what this woman actually imagined in her head that she was going to do to me, of all people. And let this be a message to anybody watching this. This will never, ever, ever, listen to me. I might put a wig on and joke around and play a little bit or whatnot. I may do the watermelon and chicken thing or whatever, fine or well or whatever. But you will never, ever, 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 unless I am ordained by God to do it, and I'm getting paid very well to do it. There ain't no way in God's green earth you're gonna see this happen to me. So let me show you guys something here. Now, mind you, this man is still worth well over $700,000 when you see what she did to this guy. Not gonna tell me this is love. This is abuse, if you ask me. This is straight up abuse. Check this out. And now some of these videos I do remember from the Marked by God days. So this one is on Fat Courtney Loves YouTube channel. And I think a lot of you make fun of them with this one right here. This video right here. If you can see my icon here. That's Shanny. That's Shanny, the amazing ex-atheist. Let me sure you guys can hear me. Hold on a minute. That's Shanny. Okay, cool. So take a look at Revelina, and guess who he's flirting with? Take a guess. Check this out.
So, hey, G-Man, what's up? It's Rev here. You know, I've been waiting for you. But anyway, yeah, the whole past year has been kind of...
That's not wet brain. He was told to do this. But this is not wet brain here. I don't want to hear nothing about no wet brain. This is premeditated.
crazy and everything, but maybe we can work everything out and see how the things are going. I don't know. But
Sabella, I want to give you the link to come in here, Sabella, real quick, before I play the rest of that video. Because it's going to be important for me to, because I'm going to say something in here. And you guys ain't going to believe me. Sabella, I need you to come in here real quick. Nobody else click the link. Just Sabella. Only Sabella. Sabella, click that link and come in here. I want us to watch this clip together. And I'm going to say something. I want you to tell me if you believe me or not. Okay? Sabella, click that link and come in the room real quick. Just Sabella. If anybody else coming here who ain't Sabella, I'm not letting you in here. Just Sabella. Okay? Okay, cool. Here she goes. Sabella, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so let's finish watching this clip here. And then when it finishes, I'm going to say something. I want you to tell me if you think I'm lying, all right?
All right.
Right, so just give me a second here, because you were there and we were fighting back then. So you'll know if I'm lying or not. So let me put this on here real quick.
You know, I'm trying to get used to Colorado here. I like it a lot. And I don't know, I just want to say hi really quick because I like it and everything. And yeah, this is sort of like a new character thing I'm getting into, sort of. And you know, I don't know, I look like maybe a hooker on a street corner. I don't know, G-Man. Come and save me, G-Man. The damsel needs saving, G-Man. Could you please come and save me? You know, I'm on the street corner, Gary. Gary. I lost the slipper, Gary.
Okay, so I don't want to throw up or nothing like that. So let's just get into this real quick. Shanny, even though we had that fight, she still wanted me, didn't she?
Yeah.
She still wanted me, and she was getting ready to leave him and try to set it up where she could be with me. Am I lying about that?
No.
Now, how do we both know that?
You have always been her ultimate goal. She has made it clear from day one that you were the goal. She only wanted him for the money. She told Betty that.
Exactly. And then Shanny's mother told me the same thing. She
Yeah.
told me to leave her alone, which I didn't listen to. I listened to her for about a day or two because Shanny talks too much. But she told me to specifically leave Shanny alone, and I would get the house back because she wants me. She don't want him. Okay? So I'm not saying that because I want Shanny or anything like that. I'm just telling you what's really going on in that woman's head.
No, that's a stone cold fact, and it has been a fact for years.
Right. So what you saw there, number one, I think she had him do that. She told him what to say and believed that it would be funny if he did it, right? Like, what do you think about it?
Well, she also made a similar video to Bruce, so I am not sure if she's just trying to get both of you or if he just likes to hit on men or what. But
I don't know what her deal is. All I know is that when we were there in person, I got a heck of a lot more attention than Rev did, that's for sure. Because when I came over there, I always had stuff with me, and Rev couldn't provide anything. He couldn't provide nothing. What he could do is run errands, but he couldn't provide anything.
Well, he can't provide anything now. He does not have a job.
He doesn't want to work either.
He sits and he gets high and he begs for stuff on the internet.
That's right. And she beats him up when he doesn't. Well, when she gets angry enough, she beats him up.
Or she makes him shave his head.
Yep. Anything to destroy his masculinity.
Yeah, she humiliates him on the regular.
Yeah, and he thinks that's love, and it's not. So, Sabella, thank you for coming in here. Let me just try to get through this thing as quickly as I can, so people don't be here forever.
All right.
Or whatever. I just wanted you to. Oh, and one more thing, Sabella. Didn't me and you have a bet that relationship wasn't going to last 6 months?
We did.
On Skype, right? If you ever find that, can you do me a favor and get that to either Drag or Carrie and show them as proof that we had a bet on? This is when we were fighting too. We had an ongoing bet that that he was going to be broke within 6 months.
Well, he's broke, but he hasn't wised up and gone anywhere. So we were half right.
Yeah. But that's why I needed you in here so that people can see this and whatnot. Because Shanny's going to say I'm lying when she sees this. I'm not lying about nothing. I know what I'm talking about. But thank you for coming here, Sabella. Let me just get through the rest of this real quick.
All right.
So I can make my point here. All right. So I needed Sabella in here because whenever I say things like that, it sounds like I'm being cocky or arrogant or whatever. And I'm not trying to be cocky or arrogant. I'm just telling you what this woman really thinks. And Jason, if you're watching this, you are still being played, dude. You have one thing to offer, and that's a roof over her head. You wait till the uncle kicks you out. Just wait. But anyway, let's get back to the story here. So let's go back over there again to the Rebelina channel or whatever, or the Fat Courtney Love YouTube channel. And that's what she would have him do. $700,000, and she was making him dress up. You won't find one YouTube video with Chris dressing up like that. Not one. That's why I give Chris credit. You won't see him wearing a Joker's outfit and acting like a female and acting like he don't got no balls. I've gotten into arguments with Chris on YouTube. If anybody ever has those things downloaded, where I kind of like toyed with him a little bit or whatever, and then Shanny took it a little bit too personal or whatever. But where Chris laid down the law with Shanny super fast. I've been on the phone with them. And if I can find my old phone, I believe I recorded it. And Shanny, you better hope to God I don't find my old phone. Because I recorded that conversation when you and Chris was arguing. And he was putting you in your place. You better hope I never find that phone. But I got a lot of stuff. I got me and Candy talking. I got some interesting things. But that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to focus on Shanny. So what I want to show everybody here is this is what they was doing with the money. Right? Because Shanny claims that she had nothing to do with him losing all that money, right? She had nothing to do with it and whatnot, right? I want to show everybody that she's a liar when she says that, okay? Now, I lost the video. Now we're going to find it again. Hold on. When they smoked it all up. I know a lot of you seen this stuff already, but there's a video with her doing a wakey bakey, and I don't think I've ever really... I think one time on Marked by God, I might have said something about this wakey bakey thingy that she did on here, where she was dressing up in green. She was dressing up in this big green dress, and she bought this $1,000 blunt, I think it was. You started seeing her walk around wearing a marijuana symbol on her hats. Jason started walking around with marijuana symbols on his hats, and all she cared about was marijuana and marijuana and marijuana and marijuana. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Shanny's mother said something about all she wanted to do was go to Colorado, was to be with him so that she can smoke and smoke and smoke and never work. But she spent all of his money on marijuana. Let me show you something here real quick to prove it. Now, I don't want nobody telling me I'm making this stuff up and I'm lying or whatever. Although a lot of you already seen this stuff, I'm sure. I'm the one late to the dance with a lot of this. So, I was going to go into all the N-word stuff. I don't think that's necessary. But I want people to see what she did with the money, though. Now, I got to be careful with this one because she shows her behind in this thing. Hold on.
This is going to be a hell of a 420.
That man was wearing a cross on his hats. That man was preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now they're both dressed up in this green nonsense, smoking weed. Okay, I want to make sure you guys heard that. They're both dressed up in this green nonsense, smoking weed. Okay? This woman came into his life, removed Jesus from it, and made herself and her God, marijuana, the object of this man's faith. And Shanny, if you're watching this, you were never a follower of Jesus. If you was truly a follower of Jesus, that man wouldn't be sitting there with a sweater of a marijuana leaf on his shirt. For those of you who are Christians who are watching this, you understand what I'm talking about. This woman is presenting herself like a witch. Because that is what she's into. Sorcery. And that's what she's practicing when she constantly wants to get high. I'm not going to go too far in there. I already ranted about that before. But the point of the matter is, that is where his money went. It wasn't moving all the time. Yeah, it might have been it was several dumb purchases. I believe Dragnet covered the mukbangs, and Dragnet covered the hauls, where she would spend $800, $1,500, $2,000 on absolute garbage. A lot of you don't know this, but everything that they were buying, the man already had in Scranton. The man had laptops, the man had games, the man had everything that they were buying there was already in Scranton. If they wanted that stuff so bad, why didn't they take that stuff with them to Colorado so that they can save a little bit of money? Because that was not her goal. Her goal was to spend every dime he had and then think that she was going to come to me. This is one of the reasons why I'm taking this so personal. Because I actually believe the exact opposite. I believe that these two genuinely and sincerely, this is what I believe now. I believe that the reaction channels are responsible for them losing all of their money. They had to keep moving all the time. That's what I believe. I believe that they lost all of their money because the reaction channels didn't let them make ad revenue on their channels. But the reality is that this woman spent all of his money on marijuana and video games and stupid stuff that they don't even own no more. I saw their car when they came from Colorado. I know what was in the car. I took everything out the car for them. They had maybe at best, if you combined everything in value, they had at best maybe $8,000 worth of stuff in that car when they moved from Colorado. Out of almost $1 million, $8,000 in stuff that he would later pawn off so that they can get Delta 8. So that they can get weed. And it burns me up. I'm not mad like the way you guys are mad. I'm mad for a totally different reason. This woman thought she was going to do this mess to me. And she was absolutely crazy if she thought that was going to happen. But anyway, they moved the boat to Colorado. They're smoking all of this weed. All of her pain magically going away because she's smoking all these joints and weed.
Damn. It's like it's almost like his music is getting better. Like he started like really good, but it's like
she got on my case for getting on for talking about Valerie Love years ago. Sabella will back me up on this. She got on my case for making a YouTube video against Valerie Love. I don't know if I was living in a house at the time. I think it was right before I moved in there. But she got on my case about making a video about Valerie Love, and I see why, because they believe the same things.
Like every time he's just like seriously, he just keeps putting it up another par upon another par upon another par. What up, baby? Want some? Try some.
Interesting little fact. She's collecting welfare during this time. They didn't want to get married, and this is what Jason said to me himself. They did not get married because she didn't want to lose her welfare. That's why they didn't get married. They're not married now, and what y'all need to be doing is telling CPS that these knuckleheads are going around saying that they're something that they are not. Because she collects food stamps. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you collect food stamps, it goes by both people's income in both their situation. And they're both living with each other. And they're claiming to be married. Y'all need to tell CPS that when y'all talk to them again. And I don't care if and this may sound a little insensitive. Maybe this might get me a little bit of hate for saying this, but I don't care if Shanny, Rev, the uncle, the kids, or anybody don't like me saying this. But they got to cut this garbage out. They got to cut this out. They are not married. Their boyfriend and girlfriend is shacking up, and their number one enemy, is not Satan right now. Their number one enemy is God Almighty, because he's the one punishing them right now for what they're doing. If it was up to Satan, Satan would drop all the Delta 8 in the whole world on their lap. God is allowing these people to be exposed because this woman is on here masquerading like she's a Christian when she ain't. And so is Jason. This man may have had a heart for Christ at one time in his life, but Shanny has stomped it out. And I'm going to prove it out of their own mouth soon enough. Let's keep listening.
Better. Yes. Help me. Sister needs some help.
She got him off the alcohol, according to her. She got him off the alcohol, according to her. She did so much for him. You're going to hear her talk about that a little bit later. She got him off the alcohol to get him dependent on another substance, and that's marijuana. And now the man can't get off of it. He can't live without it. And I'm going to prove all of that as we go on. Shanny needs to be thrown in prison for what she did to this guy.
You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to be one of those like music reviewers and like listening to music and like reviewing it and shit. I'd love that. That would be fun to do. I could start that. Reviewing certain songs on my channel. Oh, dudes.
And look at Red. Look at him. Just look at him while she's doing all of this. Look at him. Oh, she's doing so much for him.
So what's been going on in this world? I don't know what's been going on. I've been living a very boring life, obsessed with like Red Dead. Pretty much. And enjoying my sons.
Something else too. You never heard this man call anybody the N-word before he got involved with Shanny too. I challenge anybody to go look at any of his old stuff. Any of it. And go find him using the N-word before he got involved with Shanny. This man inherited money that he did not earn. This man inherited money he did not earn. He had some discipline on businesses to invest in, like Apple and like these vampire sunglasses. The man knew how to do graphic design. He knew how to do certain things. Then he got involved with this loose, no discipline Black Widow, and she spent a very large portion of this man's money while he was like this. And again, she made him lose $125,000 in a single day in the stock market. I know this because she told me this on the phone, and she was crying, wondering, freaking out what she should do because she never had that kind of responsibility before. And Shanny, if you think I'm making that stuff up, anytime you want to do a joint stream, don't sing it, bring it. You know the deal with me. But all you're going to do is go on your channel, oh, G-Man's lying. G-Man lying. Okay, show the receipts while I'm lying then, Shanny. Can't do it.
And my guinea pig. Everything else. Oh. Trump just came out with a tweet. Despite the fact that
nobody cares. So anyway, the point of me bringing that up is I wanted people to see what she was doing with the money. She was smoking it. You all know that she was doing hauls and that she was doing mukbangs, and they were just buying a lot of stupid stuff. Okay? They told all of you that they had to keep moving. They have to keep moving. Let me tell you something. If you look at both times they moved, you look at all of the furniture that they bought, if you look at the TVs that they bought, it doesn't even come up to about 120,000. It doesn't even come up to 100,000 when they moved. That's baloney. That money got lost because of their irresponsible spending. That's why it got lost. And do you want to know why Jason doesn't talk about these things? It makes him depressed. It makes him suffer from mental anguish. And Shanny makes him represses all of that because you guys had to be around when I heard her say this for the first time to my face when she said, oh, it's just money. Mind you now, she's begging me for my money at the time for food. She's begging me for my money at the time so she can get cigarettes. She's begging me for my money to do all this other stuff. And I'm not rich. I don't got no $700 sitting around nowhere. $700,000 sitting nowhere. She's like, oh, it's just money. It's just money. It's just money. Then this stupid woman gets, see, I almost cussed her. This stupid woman got on the internet and said that she would do it all over again, right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I want you to listen to Jason's own mouth what actually happened. And you guys seen this clip. I want you to hear for yourself what happened to this guy's money. Because the only way you're ever going to find out the truth with Rev is if you get him mad. Rev ain't going to tell you nothing why he's calm. All right? They call it and another thing about the performance art. I did ask him about that. Rev told me that stuff was real. And if he had a gun, he would have shot her. He told me on multiple occasions, if he had a gun, she would have got shot that day. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Now, mind you, you got to remember, when I got the house the first time, Rev owned two guns. He had an assault rifle, and that dude had a handgun. I'm sorry, I'm not a gun person, so I can't go into detail about what kind of gun it was. but he had a handgun and he had an assault rifle in that house. Had they had that argument in that house, Shanny would have never even looked at him funny. All the weapons that dude had in there. And the dude had a lot of ammunition too.
I can't afford takeout.
This is the video.
Trust me.
Telling all the YouTubers that her man won't get a job and that she's the one providing for the family. After she spent the vast majority of this man's money, giving it to her mother, bribing YouTubers, and doing all this other stuff and whatnot. She's getting on here bragging about taking care of the house with her EBT card while calling me up to pay their, and this is a true story, to pay her cell phone bill, to get them food, so that they can get a key fob or some mess that they told me about on the phone, and a couple of other things. They called me up and had me pay that stuff. But anyway, let's continue.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Oh, and by the way, Shanny, I supported you for the better part of almost 2 years. For the better part of 2 years, I supported you. And then you get on here and you say that I gave you anyway, whatever. Let's continue.
All I have is fucking food stamps and whatever I make from YouTube. That's all I have. That's all the finances that are coming in. And that's not good enough.
Isabella, it's a good thing he left them guns there, because if he didn't, Shanny wouldn't be around. I can promise you that.
And I'm freaking the fuck out.
He would have took her out.
I'm freaking the fuck out. You know, I'm just hoping that this Dogecoin will take off quick. I mean, they're saying it's going to. They're saying it's going to take.
Y'all want to see something interesting? Shanny says in her streams that when she used to do the cooking streams and she used to do all those streams, she was doing it in a lot of pain. Okay? For those of you out there who actually do experience pain when you're doing things, go watch her when she's doing the cooking streams. She ain't experiencing no pain. She's full of it. I went and I actually watched them. There is no signs whatsoever that she was experiencing any pain during those cooking streams at all. You're a liar, Shanny.
Take off soon. You know, and it's at that time period where Bitcoin, like it took like.
And I'll tell you this, Shanny, you lucky I didn't take a look at these reaction channels and these archive videos while you was in that house, because I'd have threw you out of there looking at all this stuff that I see that you guys was doing in there, and the stuff that you guys was saying and doing and whatnot. You're lucky, Shanny. You're lucky. You got that one off.
Bitcoin about 2 to 3 years before it took off and skyrocketed to where it was, and it's in that period with Dogecoin. That's why everyone's getting excited.
I had to go on Burnt Toast's YouTube channel. Oh, Shanny and them ain't drinking shit, and then I see a video with them drinking. I'd have threw out that day. That day I would have threw them out. They knew the rules in there.
For it. You know, and that's why we invested a little bit of money into it, because we know when it takes off, we'll be able to support ourselves with it. You know, and this was a tip.
Somebody in the live chat says, and I didn't know this, she spent $10,000 to see Trisha. I would like a link for that one. She spent to see Trisha Paytas? She paid 10 grand to go see Trisha Paytas? Oh, no. Somebody's got to give me the link. I got to take a look at that one later.
That was given to me by one of my subscribers, actually.
Let's see if that's the video.
So I took my Mother's Day gift and I put it into it, and I don't regret it. You know?
Burnt Toast.
I put it into the Dogecoin because I know ultimately that's going to make some good money for us. Because we were doing stocks before.
You know, that would explain why they was doing all of those hangouts with Big C, and why they was doing all of those hangouts and trying to be everybody's friend so they can get money. That must have been when their money was really, really, really starting to run out. So she must have convinced him that that they can make money on YouTube. It had to have been that. And then when he started seeing that the money wasn't coming in. That's when he went off on her in this particular video, which you guys are gonna see. And this is not performance art. This actually happened. Red told me that this was very real when he had this argument.
I did start.
Well, yeah, I know.
I did.
Fine.
Did nothing.
Now, mind you, Jason's justified for coming after her like this, at least from my perspective anyway, because remember, in the beginning of this video, she's standing there talking about how he won't get a job and trying to blame all of their problems on him, how she's been busting her behind to do all this and whatnot to try to earn money to take care of her family. She's so full of caca. If she wouldn't have spent all that money on that weed, and she wouldn't have spent all, and then on top of that, that dummy gets on Twitch. That dummy gets on Twitch and then says, "Oh, I'm gonna I would do it all over again." And that's right there in your face, Rev. Like the stuff that she does right in your face. She does not respect your intelligence, dude. She basically said she would squander your money all over again. You are an idiot, Rev, for being with this woman. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to you. Think about it, dude. Go look at this video of you at your desk. I'm sorry, you in your dining room talking about holiness, trying to follow Christ, and then being some spaced out zombie with a marijuana hat on and a marijuana shirt on while this woman's smoking up all of your money, you idiot. You need to throw her out by her hair right now. And take what's left of your dignity and try to grow up and be a real man.
I was helping anyway.
No, you weren't. You did nothing.
Yeah.
You wasn't helping doing nothing.
Well, you're doing
I have
nothing.
never seen Shanny do dishes. I've never seen Shanny sweep a floor. I've never seen Shanny. And listen to me, I know a lot of women are gonna get mad at me when they hear me say this. I've seen Rev sweep the floor a little bit, not great, but a little bit. I've seen him mop a little bit. I've seen him wipe a tub down a little bit. I have never seen this woman clean anything. I've never seen her clean anything. I've seen her kids clean, and I've seen Rev clean. I've never seen her clean. Oh, that's my fibromyalgia. The heck out of here.
And now, so yeah, so shut the fuck up. I was taking care of a sick man.
No, you wasn't. You were spending his money.
Who could barely take care of himself.
No, you
And
didn't.
2 kids.
He was doing just fine before he met you. You got in his life. You kicked Jesus Christ to the curb. You became his Lord and Savior, and then you propped up the almighty Delta 8. The great Trinity. Shanny, Delta 8, and weed. The great Trinity. When was the last time Rev dedicated in a sole video on Jesus Christ without begging anybody for anything? He'll never do it. Not while she's around. He can't even have a political opinion while that woman's around.
That's not true.
Oh, really?
That's not true.
Really? I didn't take care of you at all.
You took care of me for 1 year when I had wet brain.
That's what I was talking about.
That's it.
Yeah. And then we were separated because of the fucking cops.
That's why you're such a feminist, Shannon. You love beating up men. You love abusing men. You like beating them up. I tell you one thing, that me, Chris, Jay, let me tell you something. Chris can't claim this. Rev can't claim this. And I don't know Doug, but I tell you this, you never put your hands on me. Because if you did, everybody on YouTube would have known about my jail, would have known about me going to jail, and they would have known why I went to jail. Because I don't play that one iota. I don't play that one iota.
For not long at all.
Still. I was still doing everything myself.
It's not true.
Whatever.
One of the things I would like to ask Chris is, how did Shanny smell when he was with her? I would love, the next time you guys go on Chris's channel, ask him that. I'm gonna try to be a guest on there one day when he does the what does he have, the odd irrelevancy or whatever. I'm gonna go on his show. I'm gonna ask him a question. How did Shanny smell when they were together? And did she ever bathe? Because I watched her bathe twice. Don't get me wrong. I watched her bathe twice. Let me tell you what I mean by watching it. Okay. I was told to go downstairs. Shanny and Rev went in the shower, and Rev bathed her because apparently she can't turn her body to the side to wipe her own butt crack, to wash her own butt. She can't do it. Rev has to do it for her. Rev is her caretaker. This woman can't even bathe without him. She can't wipe her butt without him. It's disgusting.
I don't even get credit for taking care of you for a fucking year.
You just fucking
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. I kept you alive. See, this is it.
Just for everybody to know, he would have been alive a year. If he never got involved with her, that dude would still almost have $1 million, and that dude would have been quite alive. He would have been a drunk, but he would have been alive. Because you got to remember, he had Deidre in his life, and she was trying to get him to tone down on the drinking. There was a lot of people, I think, that started getting into his life, that started talking to him about that. But as far as because it wasn't just him, I believe it was Shamos, and it was a couple of other people in the debate arena. In my next video, we're gonna take a look at him, at Jason in the debate coliseum that Nadia had, and we're actually gonna go look at how he conducted himself. And the man was drunk many times, and he sounded better than he did in any of these videos.
No one appreciates anything I do for them.
Kept me alive.
No one appreciates anything I do for them.
That this ended.
No one appreciates anything I do.
Of a relationship is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really thinking it's time for this to end.
Why?
Because you're dishonest and you go on this.
How am I being dishonest?
Bullshit to people
How am I
day,
being dishonest?
and
I'm
sick of
You
it.
just admitted I
And you
took care of
gossip.
you.
And you gossip.
How am I
I'm so
gossiping?
fucking sick of it.
You just admitted.
Now, while this is happening, a lot of you don't know this, but I had possession of that house. I didn't own it yet, though. I made him write down documents. We had a lawyer working on things during this particular time. During this time when they're having this argument right now, they gave me back the house. That much I do remember. That much I do remember. So I'm a little surprised she didn't call me then and say, "Oh, G-Man, he's beating me up. You should take me in." Of course, I would have told her no, because I wouldn't have believed the word that was coming out. Well, actually, I probably would have given her somewhere to live, but I don't know about dating her, because, like I said, I was still mad about a lot of stuff that she did in the past, although I forgave her.
I was taking care of you for a year.
Sick of being with this fucking thing.
Yeah, sick of being with this thing who's doing nothing but financially supporting you when you don't do anything. Yeah.
She had him do porn. She had him do porn. She had him do porn. And then invited Drag's wife to join them doing porn. If you're a Christian, be careful who you get involved with. Be very careful who you get involved with, or you might end up with this Sasquatch.
Maybe it's Caitlin from Exclusive. Yeah. You can go be with her. I'm a psycho? Yeah. While I'm financially supporting everything and working my ass off trying to do everything I can.
No money coming in.
And Shanny, I hope you're watching this part here, because I noticed in this video, I've watched this many times. This particular clip here, just to like think about some things. Now, isn't it ironic that we can hardly find any videos of this guy saying this to you about how he's doing financially supporting you and everything? But every opportunity you get in front of that camera, in front of people who don't know you, people who don't like you, and you keep talking about who's financially supporting who. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you probably already know this. She had a YouTube channel. She had a YouTube channel, and she was bringing in ad revenue. I actually seen it. It was my first time ever seeing meeting a YouTuber who made ad revenue. Well, actually, that's not true, because then I think Nate Brody actually did it too, or whatever, and a couple of other people. But I never seen it on their phone. She actually showed me what she made when they first went to that house over there in Scranton. I'm talking about the uncles. I think she had like about 11 or 1,300 in ad revenue from all that traveling and you guys constantly watching them, from what I understand. And then her thingy got blocked or whatever. But it's funny how my attitude has changed about that too, because I don't even believe her with that garbage no more either. I think she violated terms of service. I think that's what happened. But although I did see the text messages. But anyway, the point of the matter is that she's constantly reminding him how she's taking care of him while all of his money is gone. But keep listening to Jason. He's gonna let you know what happened.
None.
I have to wait till the 21st.
Supporting what?
Yes, I've been getting money in here and putting it in the bills and paying them.
Yeah, you're totally bullshit.
Oh, really? Really? Because I think the people who give me money know that I'm paying the bills.
G-Man pays your bills.
G-Man doesn't pay me.
G-Man pays your bills.
No, he doesn't.
I sure as heck was. I sure was. But notice how our voice changed?
Doesn't. He didn't pay those bills last month. He just gave us the money last week.
$2,000. Actually, $2,000, and then I think it was about $200 or $300 I gave him.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It came from Maria.
G-Man pays your bills for.
I'm a whore now?
Yeah, you are.
I'm a whore now. I'm a whore and disgusted now. Yeah.
But wait a minute, Shanny. You are a whore. And let me explain to you why you're a whore, Shanny. Did you not take off all of your clothes and have sex with this dude? Can somebody enlighten me on where exactly they did this? Because I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where this happened. But didn't y'all do porn, Shanny? You do understand that people who do porn are whores, right? They sell their bodies for money. I'm just saying, Shanny, you are a whore. I mean, let's just keep it real here. You are a whore. You're a view whore, and you're a whore. You know, in terms of selling your body and all that stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sat on your ass for 3 years and did nothing.
I took care of you.
Spent $700,000. That's what you did.
Oh, really? All these games you bought, all this.
If you look at all the video games that dude had, you look at his video game collection, and you look at everything that he had in terms of the video games, you can't even get to maybe 60,000 with all of the games that this dude had. Shanny, you spent the very large portion of that money. Stop playing dumb.
Fucking stupid technology we don't need, you bought.
And did nothing.
Yeah, I sat on my ass cooking and cleaning for you, busting my ass off for you.
Shanny, you don't clean, Shanny. We both know that.
I did everything.
Oh,
you
yeah.
sat on your ass, did nothing for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah, okay, Jason. Okay, Jason. That's not true, but keep saying it.
It is true.
I know, keep saying it. It's eventually going to come true, just like Joseph Goebbels, right?
It's true.
What did you do?
Nothing, because I didn't have to.
Oh.
Which is true, because all of that money was his, even though you got on YouTube on multiple occasions, Shanny. Tried to bribe Brett King, myself, tried to bribe what's that girl's name? It was a young girl on here. Wow, I don't even remember her name. You tried to bribe everybody on here, and I mean everybody. If I'm not mistaken, you even tried to bribe Ms. Star. Now, of course, that was never going to happen, but you tried, though. You tried to bribe several people on here.
So you're just complaining about me not doing nothing while you did nothing, and then you don't see the hypocrisy in that.
You should be working to take care of your own kids.
Well, I am doing that. Now am I?
Now, Jason ain't innocent himself. Jason always said that he always wished that it was Shanny, and she wished that he wished that it was just him and Shanny and not the kids. That's why you don't hear them talking about them online, because quite frankly, they got what they want. They got each other and they don't got the kids. Which is why you don't hear me talk about it, because I think a lot of you know that. Now, the fact that this dude did what he did and is on Twitch, when he did to Zachary and is on Twitch, being looked upon with pity, it's absolutely hilarious. But don't worry, Shanny. As soon as I get time and I learn how to do the OBS thing, all of these videos that are on YouTube are going to end up on are going to end up on Twitch, and people are going to see what you really are at the end of the day. And there's a liar and a con artist.
I'm trying my best.
You're making nothing. It's pathetic.
It's not even.
And I'm trying my best. What are you making? Nothing. How many jobs have you looked for? None.
Now, she's absolutely right about this, but he's bad about all the money that he lost. He wasn't making a dime. What he ended up doing when he came to Scranton was he took them VR goggles, and I wish I knew what he was doing. But he had these VR goggles for his PS4, and he pawned those. He asked me that I wanted them, and I said no because I didn't know what they were, like a dummy. I made a big mistake on that one. But he pawned a lot of his games. He pawned some jewelry. He pawned a lot of the things that they brought over from Colorado, and got nothing for it, really. Just enough to buy some Delta 8, because that's exactly what he bought when he got the money.
You haven't done anything. I've been looking for jobs. I've pointed jobs out to you even.
That's true, too, because he got offered a job twice to make $11 an hour to go back and forth to a truck and grab tools. And he said no. He didn't want to make $50 to rake up leaves. That was something the kids had to do. Shanny beat you up for that one too, didn't she, Rev? Are you going to talk about that on your Twitch? No, you're not. Are you going to go on your YouTube channel and talk about it? No, you're not. You want to know why? You want to know why you're not going to do it? Because you feel like you don't have to. And all you got to do is say G-Man's lying. You do understand I can put that contractor on camera if I want, right? You do know that, right? Don't even get me started.
At least I'm trying. And I wasn't sitting on my ass for 3 years. I was taking care of you while you were playing sick. I think he's having an affair with me with this girl named Caitlin. I think he is, because he keeps saying he wants to leave me. Even though I'm working so hard. And it's not good enough. Nothing I do is good enough for anyone.
So anyway, what we learned from this is that, now you guys already knew this already, is that the $700,000 that this man had when he went to Colorado, or if he had a little bit more than that, when he went to Colorado, all got spent up on foolishness. And Shanny played a very large role in that. Now, Rev, if you disagree with anything that I have to say, Rev, all you got to do is ask for the link, and I'll give it to you, and you can come in here. But let's just save ourselves some time. You're not going to do it because you know I'm telling the truth. Now, I got another video I want people to see here. Remember this humble control? Oh, hold on. Let me show everybody this video again in case you guys came in late here. This was Rev before Shanny. Where is it? This is Rev before Shanny. This is the atheist responding to him. That's why you see the double star there. Okay. This is him saying that he doesn't support the views of this guy or whatever, right? But you see what he's got on his hat? I'm not saying I support the symbol that's there, but it is a cross. And he was on here. He was on his channel talking about God. I know exactly where he's sitting because I was sitting in that same spot when Shanny evicted me from that house the first time I got in there. That's the exact spot I was sitting in. All right. But this dude right here didn't have to worry about anything. He didn't have to worry about no money. He didn't have to worry about no food. If he wanted to go get a beer, he could have went and got a beer. Yeah, he was drinking too much. He was depressed about losing his mother. And now I'm going to show everybody what this buffoon has become. What he has allowed this demon to turn him into. Let's take a look at the real Revelation News TV. All right. You know what? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Before we do that, I want to put a little bit more context on this. Remember when she was calling herself Saldafon? Check this out. Let's put a little bit more context on this. I don't know if you guys can actually see that or not. What's that video called? Jason shows his true colors. Okay, this one right here. Here we go. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted Veckel to come here. Veckel If you want to come in, you got to give me a link. I'm sorry, you got to give me a personal text message so that you can see what I'm talking about, all right? Let me sure that you can all see this here. Hold on a minute. Okay, there we go. You guys can see. Now, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, there we go. All right, let me play the video. Now,
And we
mind
should
you,
be safe.
before they have this argument, she's getting on his case because Dragnet is telling him to be a man. That's the video that comes before this one if you actually go in here and look on the channel.
This money so we can pay our fucking bill, dude, and not spend it on stupid frivolous shit. That's what we did it for. That's what we did it for, is to pay bills, and you just want it for selfish fucking means? Do you even care about this fucking family?
I know you never did, Shanny, that's for sure. You never cared about it, that's for sure. All you care about is your precious little heart. That's
Why are you only using my clothes to wipe up your puke?
I told this to Shanny in person, and I'm going to say this on here right now. Had this woman did this mess to me and tried to embarrass me on YouTube, you guys seen what happened with me and Indigo, right? Y'all seen what happened with that, where she attempted to use my laptop to try to embarrass me, right? All of y'all remember that, right? Let me tell you something. If this woman would have pulled this mess with me, I'd have took that laptop and I'd have flung it against the wall and told her. Remember, at this time, she's living off of him, not the other way around. It's funny looking at all that stuff back then. Most of that stuff I actually have now. It's so funny.
I hope you wash those.
All I've done for you and your family, you can go to hell.
I can go to
All
hell.
I've done for your family.
I can go to hell. For what? For what? For you cleaning up your own puke like a big boy?
Do you know why I did this? It was for fucking money for our family.
And you want to spend it?
Remember, he ate that really hot chip or whatever, and then he threw up when he ate that chip. Remember that now, right? Remember that. And I think you guys are right about her teeth, too. Anyway, let's continue.
It didn't help a bit with anything.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't help a
You're
bit with
piece of
anything.
shit, and I'm done.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit,
Fuck
right?
off and die. Everybody can die. I mean it.
Yeah.
You realize the fucking pain I was in. No, you don't care either. You never care about how I feel. And that's true. It's okay, though. I still love the people in my life. I love you, and I will deal with it.
You should have said that, Jason, and you should have flung her out of that house. That's what you should have did. You should have had her removed from that house. Or you should have grabbed your stuff and you should have left and left her to pay the rent. That's what you should have did. But nope, you chose to stay with her. I can't believe this woman actually thought this was going to be me. Please. Never in a million years. Hell, I have to freeze over 14 times over. Just keep reading the chat, Shanny, so you can react to it and pretend and try to placate the people who don't like you. Man, you don't know you're going to do it. $700,000. You don't want no scrub. Remember that, Shanny? You don't want no scrub. Yes, you do, because your man's a scrub. How many of you remember when Jason challenged me to a fist fight? And he wanted to do it for charity. If you guys saw me, how I look physically, and you guys saw Jason, how he looks physically, the guy is skin and bones. Me and him had an arm wrestling contest, and I felt like I was arm wrestling a child. I was like, come on now. And that's when he called me the N-word, too. I'd have killed him if me and him would have actually had a fight.
I'm going downstairs, and I'm having me some fucking concentrate. Because I can rock.
Don't spend my money on gas. Don't spend my last little bit of money on the gas. Don't do it. Wasn't your money,
Well
Shanny. He
earned,
can do whatever he wants with his money.
Well earned.
You're not even married.
There you go.
This is the stupidness in all of this.
I will drink that coffee tomorrow with great vigor. Because I earned that shit. Wow. You earned that. First honest $10 in my life, I guess. Right, folks? Absolutely. I would agree with that. That's
I should have played a Shanny is done video with the breakup, but that's not what this is about. I gotta find the homeless video. That was the other one I gotta play. Anyway, so let me wait till this is over. Talk about my. I can talk about my guy. God punished these two thoroughly. Thoroughly. Okay, so
I hope he washes my clothes. I really do hope he washes my clothes.
actually, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I actually did Shanny's laundry one time. I actually did it one time. In the entire time that they lived in the house on Fisk, there was a working dryer and a working washing machine in the basement, and they never used it. They never used it. I would always come there. There'll be a bag in the bathroom with the same smelly clothes that was in there the last time I was there. And Shanny, one more little thing, Shanny. I didn't throw away your clothes. Your man threw away your clothes. He put all that stuff outside. Not me. And rightfully so, because there's worms in a lot of them clothes have worms in it. Disgusting. Those little maggots that you see flies, a lot of their clothes have them maggots in it. Disgusting.
You know what, honey? I've been doing and working my ass off, doing the best I can. And you've been nothing but a miserable jerk to everyone. What am I doing?
Fundraising, so that's good.
Yeah, I've earned quite a bit of money today
That's good. Good for you.
for the family.
Well, I earned $10, and I probably had a heart attack from it. Because my whole body.
I don't think you'd be moving and smoking
But I
cigarettes
cleaned-
if you had a heart
I
attack.
didn't mess up, did I? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. And can you clean up my clothes?
When I'm ready.
She's about to get up and beat him up. She's about to get up and beat him up. Put him in his place. Remind him who the real man is around there. People keep talking about how they left the house in Colorado. I'm pretty sure I got a pretty good idea how they left it.
I think that's it.
Yep.
Oh,
Disgusting.
thank God that my husband's going to be okay.
Well, anyway, I want everybody to see this though, because these two can't be more boring. They can't be more boring. But anyway, so Jason was doing fine before he met her. Shanny was pretending that she was a Christian on here and everything. Nobody really knew what was in her heart. It wasn't until she got involved with Jason and got a little bit of money in her pocket, started getting on here thinking she was better than everybody. I would show everybody all of the videos where this woman has gotten on here and has talked down to people who don't have any money, predicted I was going to be poor, predicted I wasn't going to have anything, said horrible things to a lot of other people on here on a financial basis or whatever. But anyway, their story ends with them losing everything, and they end up coming back to Pennsylvania. They come to Pennsylvania. They went to the uncle house. The uncle threw them out because Shanny didn't want to work and Rev didn't want to work. That is the reason why they got kicked out. They got kicked out because neither one of them wanted to work. Then they came over to the house that they gave me. And they kept telling me they was going to work, but they didn't want to work. Now, I want to show you what happens to a person who's almost a millionaire, who inherits it from his family, when he gets involved with a gold digger, with a black widow, with someone who doesn't really care about you except for the money that you got. I want to show you what's going to happen to you. Anybody who decides that they want to get into a relationship with Shanny, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for big trouble if you choose to do that. Now, where's the video at? I got too many of these windows open. Okay, so we're going to go to the real Revelation News TV show, whatever his channel or whatever. Here we go. And this is what he's become. I'm not going to play the same videos on here like the same videos over and over and over again. He wants to be YouTube's #1 premier e-beggar. He gets on here lying about loving Shanny. I think she's just convenient for him to have company to help him get over the fact that he lost his mother. But he's absolutely pathetic, and he makes up all of these stories about what happened in Colorado. And I actually want to play that video here for everybody to see this. But before I do, I want to show you what happens to this so-called millionaire who's calling everybody the N-word.
Hey guys, it's the #1 e-beggar on the internet, Revelation News. I want to be the best e-beggar possible. So I'm begging you right now, because I'm going to fucking pass out and die. Could I get like 20 or 30 bucks for some food? I'm really fucking hungry, like really extremely bad, and I feel like I'm going to drop soon. So I would really appreciate.
I want everybody to go look at my community post on my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, you don't got to do that. I'll do it. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on. Before we go to my community post on the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. Come on, man. Where is it? I lost it. Stay focused. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, brother, I closed it. But anyway, I'm not going to go back to that. If you go to my Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel and go to my community post, you're going to notice that on Fisk, that I showed you a food bank. If you look at the street where that food bank is, if I show where the street was, it is literally about 2 or 3 blocks away from where that house was. And they was giving away food, I think, every Friday or every other Friday. Why is it that they won't go to any food banks? Why is it that they won't go to any churches to receive any food or clothing or anything like that? Why is it that everything has to come from YouTube? And if you're a supporter of Shanny, you think I'm being mean to her, and you think I'm being like disingenuous or whatever, I want you to think about that a minute. I want you to think about all of these churches in this country that give away food and clothes on almost a daily basis. If you go to North New Jersey, there's a church giving away food and clothes almost every single day. The same is true in Jersey City. You can go to the Bowery Mission and receive all of this help. They won't go to none of them places. Everything has to come from social media, because Jason is involved with somebody who has a social media addiction, who can't live without social media. If people on here really wanted to destroy Shanny, you don't gotta call CPS. All you gotta do is kick her off of social media. That would utterly destroy her. And I think a lot of people understand that about her. And I'm not telling nobody to go out there and flag down her Twitch channel. I'm just telling you that this internet stuff is her life. Without this, she doesn't have no meaning. She has no purpose. But Jason, I know he can stay away from this a lot longer than Shanny can. But if you're a supporter, why aren't you, as her supporter, telling her to go to a food bank? Why are you, as her supporter, not telling her to go to a church? I did. They claimed that they went. Obviously, they lied to me after seeing that it was only 2 blocks away. If you are a supporter of these two, why aren't you telling them to go to downtown Scranton, fill out some paperwork, so that they can receive food and clothes on a regular basis. Takes 2 weeks to get it. 2 weeks! You want to know why? Because you believe that the stuff that's coming out of Shanny's mouth. I knew this woman personally. I helped her for the better part of 2 years. That woman never got off her behind and did anything. Jason went out and did all of the errands and everything. And that woman is beating him up when he doesn't comply with what she wants. She looked at me one time and said, I could totally beat your behind. Now, she ain't said it like that. I don't cuss. But if you add the cussing into it, you know what she said to me. I looked at Shanny and I told her, look, you're a woman. La, 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 la. I heard the story already. I'll go in the basement, get my sledgehammer, and then we'll have that conversation. And I meant every word that I was saying. But Shanny's got a hand problem. Rev does a lot of threatening, and Rev does a lot of talking. But for the best part, I have never seen Rev put his hands on her. She is always putting her hands on him. She destroyed him, spent all of his money, took away his manhood. Like, honestly, I think what she's doing to him is worse than a man raping you in prison. I think what she's doing to him is far worse. She can't brag about helping a guy who eats only peanut butter every day. If she really loved him, she would let him get the medical help that he needs, give him some actual food that he can eat where he won't get scurvy, take him to a dentist, introduce him to a toothbrush and toothpaste, stop giving him alcohol. That woman doesn't love you, Jason. She's using you. And Shanny, let me tell you something too, Shanny, because this is going to be a news flash to you. Jason don't love you. He's using you. And you two are going to continue to do it until somebody comes along to take one of y'all's place. Shanny, you didn't come in his life and save that man. You came into that man's life and you destroyed it. You destroyed it. That's why that video on Winston's channel was so important. I wanted people to see what he was like before he got involved with you. Before he got involved with you, that man was doing okay. He can get on here and say, well, I was drinking my liver. You know what? Yeah, you may have done that, dude, but I tell you what, at least you would have had your dignity. By definition, Jason, you're not a man. By definition, you don't conduct yourself like a man. Some people on here call you a beta and all this other stuff. You don't conduct yourself like a man, dude. Men don't act like you. Let's remove you out of that situation and let's put who's somebody on here? Let's put Vecco in your place. Do you honestly believe in your heart of hearts that Vecco would allow a couple of grains of salt of that nonsense to happen around him before he would have kicked her to the curb? The problem with you, Jason, is you was never taught how to be. You was never taught how to be a man, dude, because when you grew up, you had your mother and you didn't have your father. Nobody really taught you how to be a man. Nobody told you what to expect when you get in these relationships. You don't got to bow down to everything that woman tells you to do. You're in the position of power right now, not her. You're in your uncle's house, and if she don't like the way things are done, you can tell her to get out because your uncle's going to let you stay. But you ain't going to do that because you have this thing in your head that says that your life will be over if you don't have that blob in your life. One minute, you're making a YouTube video. You're making a Twitch telling everybody that she's making you go live. The next minute, now you guys are doing reaction videos to a whole bunch of videos and befriending the very people who can't stand you. You don't even know who the heck is complimenting you in your own live chats. How stupid you two are. Go watch Jules' channel. Go to Carrie's channel. Go to Dragnut's channel. Go read the live chat when they're watching you. They're literally telling their audience what to say to you guys. You two are the dumbest YouTubers out there. At first, I thought drag was, but I'm going to tell you something. The dumbest YouTubers out there is Shanny and Rev. They actually believe the nonsense that they hear in their live chats. And Jason wants to walk around here and act like he's the, you know, the big shot and everything and whatnot. And Shanny forgets that this is the guy who kicked her son in the head. She completely forgot about that. She forgot she don't have custody of her kids. She forgot that everybody on the internet has a copy of her whole life on YouTube while she's going on there trying to be a revisionist. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This woman took everything that you had, Rev, and we both know that there's a possibility. Here's the thing that the real reason I think Shanny wants to keep him around. Shanny believes that he still has money. I heard about this when I met them in person. Shanny mentioned something about the father possibly owning, and Rev told me about this too, about Rev's father owning some type of oil stock or something like that, oil company, and that he needs to go to the bank and do some research to see if any of that is true. That's the only reason she's with him. She will not leave him until she spends every last cent that he has. She will not leave him until she spends every last cent. And it's like, Jason, when are you going to wake up, dude, and smell the coffee and realize why this woman's with you, dude? She ain't worth it. So let's say you find out, dude, that you got $15,000 sitting somewhere or $25,000 sitting somewhere. Are you really dumb enough? Actually, you are dumb enough to tell her about it. And guess what the first thing she's going to tell you to do? The first thing she's going to want to do is go to Florida or go to some state that allows marijuana smoking, and then you guys are going to start that nonsense all over again. They're going to do that all over again, not learning nothing that woman could care less about you, dude. That woman has said on multiple occasions while you were present, saying that she wants a woman and not you. That's her next step. If she can't get me, she's gonna try to get a woman. Now, with all of the YouTube videos that exist about her, I think that's gonna be next to impossible because there's quite a bit of videos out there that exist. All you gotta do is type in Shanny for Christ, Shanny Needs Love, Shanny Salathon, or Jason Metatron, or whatever that nonsense is. Type in the worst YouTuber in the world. Shanny's face is gonna show up. She's all over social media. You know, one of the things that used to irritate me like crazy is whenever they needed money, Rev always had to sell something that was his. And I talked about this on here ad nauseum. If you don't want to stay here to hear about this, you heard this a million times, you can go, and that's all fine and well. But she always sold his stuff. She never sold her stuff. She never pawned any of her things. Look how long it took her to sell that PS5. Look how long it was. I actually had an opportunity to buy a PS5 yesterday. I went to Dave & Buster's. I was over near a mall in Woodbridge, and I had an opportunity to buy a PS5. $700 for a PlayStation 5. And I said I didn't want it because I feel like it's a waste of money. I got retro gaming now. I have retro gaming. I have more games on my retro system than I could ever get on that PS5. But I don't feel like the PS5 is that important. But this woman held on to that PS5 like it was a cross of Christ. She would not let it go. She got him to sell all of his stuff while she kept all of her stuff. It was very annoying and aggravating watching her do that. And then when I tried to pull this dude to the side and get into the car with him and have these guy talks, this woman just wouldn't listen. He just wouldn't listen. But anyway, I believe that God Almighty, my Lord and my Savior Jesus Christ, is humbling Shanny right now. Don't listen to her when she said that she's a child of God, because she is not. She is not a Christian. Do not listen to her when she say that. Do not listen to her or him talk about their relationship with Jesus Christ, because they don't have one. They have a relationship with cannabis. They do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Rev believes that witchcraft is okay. I played this clip before. For those of you who are new and never heard Rev say this before, here's your proof. And I played this on my main channel now too, because I don't want nobody in my audience supporting them.
Ah, look at Melly Germany. She's getting you right there. Do not turn to mediums or seek out spiritists, for you will be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God.
It's Old Testament stuff, yeah. The Old Testament Jews were not supposed to get involved in that stuff.
But Christians shouldn't really get involved in it too. It's not recommended.
It's not prohibited either. Look, I'm very conservative Christian, okay? You know this. I'm conservative. But I take the scripture for what it says. And Acts 15 is what you need to do. There's absolutely no word from James that you can't engage in witchcraft. He didn't say it.
Oh, what does that have to do?
It confirms the story that I told you guys on this YouTube channel when I started like breaking away from these guys. Remember when I told you guys that we were supposed to go to Pizza Hut one night, and then he was trying to convince me that witchcraft was part of Christianity, and I looked at him sideways when he said that? Go look at my older videos. You'll hear me tell you guys the story. He really believes that garbage. Yet and still, witchcraft entails sorcery, divination, and a lot of those things that are in the occult. And I have showed him on multiple occasions that in Christianity we're forbidden to participate in any of those things. As a matter of fact, people who practice sorcery is going to be thrown in the lake of fire according to the Bible. Revelation 21:8. I don't know what the heck those two are talking about. And this is why I was nice about talking about him in the beginning. But the dude had all these books and theological books and don't know nothing about what that Bible teaches about what Christians can and can't do. You don't know what he's talking about. Dude, you're broke now because you were stupid and you allowed this woman to come into your life, and the both of you spent yourselves into poverty. Now both of you are on welfare. And the people that you guys made fun of, that you were mocking and you were ridiculing and you were saying that they were poor and people were jealous of you and all this other stuff and whatnot, are now making fun of you. And God is allowing it to happen to turn you into a public spectacle because God is punishing you and he is correcting you. I can't find one Christian on my side that is sympathetic to you guys. When I was on your side, I was literally the last one. I was the only one defending you two. Now you don't even got me now. All Shanny cares about is getting high. And poor little Jason is now addicted. He's addicted to this Delta 8 and this weed. He's addicted to it. He can't get off of it. Can't live without it. The best thing that ever happened to Jason is when they locked him up for like what was that? The 10 days that the 7 or 8 days when he was in jail, when he had an opportunity to get clean. So how healthy he looked. He looked like he was eating. He looked like it looks like he bulked up a little bit. And he was only in there 8 days. Imagine if he would have got a month. Imagine if he would have got a month. He would have came out looking healthier than what he was. He would have smelled better. He would have looked better. But as long as he's with Shanny, that dude is going to keep looking worse and worse and worse and worse. Because that woman is slowly but surely killing him. And if Shanny had a half a brain, she would be covering her steps. Because one day, something's going to happen to Jason. And not only is the entire internet going to blame Shanny, the uncle's going to do it too. Shanny, you're going to find yourself behind bars again. Because you're too stupid to realize what's really going on right now. But in hindsight, so is Jason. He's just as dumb too. Thank you, Chipper. Chipper said, thank God G-Man got away from that. Let me go to the live chat now. Oh yeah. I saw a video that David Anthony made a little bit before and this is when I was mad at David Anthony. But a little bit before I got away from Shanny. And she and he was predicting that she spent all of Jason's money. Now she's coming for me. I told Shanny to her face, I said, I will never go broke for her. And I will never let myself get spent the way he did. I watched it. I watched what happened to Jason. It's like all of you guys did. Minus all of those videos. Because I got it. I'm watching some of this stuff now, and it's like, wow, how did I miss all of this? Like, how did I miss all of this? Now I try to catch Carrie when she goes live, since she's really the only one. Her and like maybe who's the other guy? Draven's Crypt. If I get a chance to watch one of them, I try to catch her streams. But lately, those two have been so boring, I stopped watching after a little bit. And I try to support them when they bring out a big truth against Shanny and them. I'll support them financially now if I think that they can show something about Shanny and Rev that's true about them in a way to stop other people from falling into the trap that I fell into. If that makes any sense. But Shanny is definitely a character. She's very good at what she does. It takes a lot to trick me. You know what I mean? But when it comes to certain topics concerning women, I'm not that strong. But like I said, some of these reaction channels, if you take into account what I've seen with my own two eyes, the fact that those two refuse to work, and a couple of other things, especially that video on Twitch, where it was the last straw when she said that that I was giving her a death sentence. When I told her that I was going to have to get a minor surgery on my back, you know what I mean? Enough was enough. I just got tired of her nonsense. Just got tired of it. And I was also secretly angry about people telling me that I never said nothing to them. Oh, yes, the heck I did. And sometimes I did it at the top of my lungs to the point that I lost my voice. I wasn't putting up with that garbage, and they knew it. I warned them. I said, listen, this is temporary. One ear and out the other one. I ain't got money every day for no food. One ear and out the other one. Almost every day this dude needed money for gas and Delta 8 and all this other stuff. Almost every day he needed these things. That piece of junk that he's driving around right now, I helped him pay for it. So he can cut the nonsense out. I'm telling you, if you guys can get him away from her long enough to do an interview or something like that, you're gonna find out real fast that he's got different opinions than her. He's got different political views than her, and he does not necessarily agree with most of the stuff that comes out of her mouth. And if you know how to ask your questions correctly, you will quickly see that he will call her a liar fast, quick, and in a hurry. And this is something I recommend one of you do. They don't know how a lot of you look. If any of you live in the Scranton area, what I recommend you do is to try to meet one of them on the street, befriend them, and then take pictures of their situation. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It will not be difficult to befriend them. They believe everything that is told to them. Just go there one day, somebody who don't talk on here on a regular basis, say that you saw them on YouTube, pretend like you care about their cause or whatever, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Everything that I said will be confirmed as soon as you walk in that house and interact with them. Especially if you're willing to give them $20 here and there. Oh my God. But those two are walking on some really they better be real careful, because I know the money that they're getting from the ad revenue they're giving to the uncle because they're not saving nothing. They're not saving nothing to get their own place. They're full of caca with that. They think they're going to be there forever. They don't know that the uncle's got them on that the uncle, if the uncle doesn't give him back the house, the uncle's going to kick them out too. Remember, I offered Jason the house back. A lot of you probably don't know this. In the previous video, I offered the dude his house back. All he had to do was dump Shanny. That goes to show how strong of a grip that woman has on him. And he didn't want it. And yet I have a few clips of Shanny and Rev calling that house a piece of garbage. That they don't want it because it was a piece of garbage. You want to know what? Not only is it not a piece of garbage, but now it's starting to bear fruit if you smell what the rock is cooking. So those two don't know what they're talking about. They have no vision and they don't know what to do with anything. Ruth, no, the uncle doesn't know. But Rev knew, and Rev went on his channel and said no. They didn't want it back. Because Rev's an idiot. He will not be getting that offer again, ever. He will never get that offer again from me. He needs to learn from his stupidity. He really needs to learn from it. Oh yeah, somebody tell the uncle I offered him his house back. He said he didn't want it. He wanted her. I mean, like I've been around Shanny, and I'm telling you, there is no way in the world anybody gonna tell me that poutine pie is that good. I'm sorry. There's no way on God's green earth anybody's gonna tell me that poutine pie is that good. Nobody. I'm sorry. But anyway, Rev and Shanny, you're both being humbled by God Almighty right now because both of you mismanaged funds. Neither one of you knew how to handle that responsibility. Shanny came into your life on purpose anyway, Rev. Let's keep it real. To spin you into poverty. And now that you're in poverty, look how she's treating you. Look how she's belittling you after everything that you did for her. And I don't think an EBT card that she gets every month makes up for the amount of money that she spent that you had, dude. Now, if anybody wants to donate to me later or whatever, by the way, thank you for not giving me a super chat because I really need to keep a flow to my show today. But if you do want to donate, it's $Gman3233 Cash App, right? That's my Cash App, right? So it's Gman3233, Gman3233. If you want to donate, if you don't want to donate, don't lose a drop of sleep over it because I'm going to do these for free. I don't care. But anyway, so Shanny, you can pray till you're blue in the face. God ain't killing nobody. God ain't punishing nobody. He ain't doing those things. Okay? What you need to do, woman, is that you need to repent and come out of that witchcraft that you're in. And your man needs to do the same thing. And what you two need to do is do a stream and admit to everybody what we already know, that you're not married. That you two are a bunch of shacking up fornicators who are committing sexual sin on a daily basis. You're not the only people that commit sexual sin, Shanny and Rev. A lot of people do it. But there's also a lot of people out there acknowledging what they're doing is wrong. Stop calling yourselves Christians if that's too difficult for you to do, Shanny and Rev. Like, honestly, just cut it out. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope people got something out of this. Shanny, you're like I said, you ain't nothing but a gold digger. I called you that the first time I was in the house. I'm calling you that again the second time you're in the house. You're a gold digger. You don't care about that man because if you did, that man would be getting the medical help that he needs. You have lied to him and convinced him that Delta 8 is his Lord and Savior. And Shanny, this background that I have here is not by accident. Isn't it ironic? The very people that you was trying to bribe are the people that you're trying to beg money for right now. You said I was going to be poor. You're begging me for money. You're begging Drag for money. You're begging Carrie for money. You're begging Burnt Toast for money. You're begging all of these people that you put down. That goes to show how cursed you are, Shanny, and you are not blessed. I'll see you guys in the next one.